Chapter 18, Backup. Searchlight's resolution to avoid the bullies lasted a depressingly short time. We were leaving geology 2 hours later when we saw them in the hallway. One of the students from our geology class, the Praxian femme designated Breeze, was walking ahead of us. Jazz stuck his feet out to trip her. She noticed and jumped out of the way, but dropped the stylus and datapad she was carrying. Here, let me get that for ya. Jazz dodged in and picked the stylus up off the ground. Hey, Breeze said, picking up her datapad. He held out the stylus to her and she reached for it, but then he pulled back at the last instant and her fingers grasped thin atmosphere. Don't you want it? Breeze lunged for it again and missed again, but her momentum brought her close enough to the other two so that Motormaster could reach out and flick her doorwing. Ow. She reeled back and Verdict caught her arm. She dropped her datapad again as she tried to pull away from him. Let go. He let go and she stumbled away. What's this? Jazz asked, picking up the datapad. Come on, Breeze said. Give it back. Hang on, I want to see what you're always drawing in here instead of taking notes in class, Jazz said. We had all stopped to watch, but now Searchlight was fed up. He walked up to Jazz and grabbed the datapad right out of his fingers. Jazz stared. Excuse me, I was looking at that. Here, Searchlight held out the datapad to Breeze. She took it, lip plates parted slightly as she stared blankly at him. She was feeling something, like the kind of paralyzing embarrassment you felt when you'd done something really stupid in front of a lot of other mecha. But it was a little different, and she was mostly focused on Searchlight. Oh, Primus. Oh, Primus. Searchlight turned his attention back to the bullies. Motormaster pushed off of the wall. Want to finish what we started on the roof last term? That's already finished, Searchlight said. I don't think so. Verdict shook his helm. You mind giving back the stylus? Searchlight pointedly ignored him and addressed Jazz. I do mind, Jazz held it up. It's a pretty nice stylus. He spun it through his fingers, and it disappeared. Subspace, he thought with a grin. Don't know how I functioned without it all these forms. Motormaster and Verdict came up on either side of Jazz. I would have been worried, but at the moment, we weren't in danger. We're going to give you one's chance, Verdict said. If you don't. What's going on? The geology teacher, Retroquake, was coming down the hallway. Verdict frowned. We need to get those teacher sensing things back. I can't believe they figured out we had them. Probably Soundwave's fault. Nothing, Professor. Humphy, Retroquake said. Had you two last term? He looked at Motormaster and Verdict. Troublemakers. Well, stop it whatever it is. Nothing, my aft. All of you. Sure, Searchlight said. Sorry, Professor. Come on. He led Ratchet and I past the bullies. Breeze followed at a distance, trying to work up the courage to thank Searchlight for standing up for her. When we got out of hearing range of the bullies, Searchlight sighed. I'm really sorry, Wave. I said I wouldn't. Stop. I said. What? I looked behind myself at Breeze, who froze. Oh, Searchlight followed my gaze. There I go again, being stupid. I might just have spilled everything to her if you'd let me keep talking. Hi. Breeze smiled and we stopped to let her catch up. Hi, she said. I just wanted to say thanks. Oh, Searchlight shrugged. No problem. Sorry I didn't get your stylus back. No, that's all right. She looked down, faceplate warming up. I can't believe I'm actually talking to him. Primus beneath, she had it pretty bad. Those three are just stupid. Searchlight said. I know. No duh, you know. That sounded really smart, Breeze. I had noticed that she liked Searchlight before, but hadn't thought too much of it. A lot of the femmes in our term admired him. I was torn between amusement and wishing she'd just go away. So, Searchlight said, because he didn't like awkward silence. You're Breeze, right? Yes, Breeze said. He remembers my designation. I remember you from history last term. We should get back to the room before Verdict decides to come find us. Yeah, Breeze said. I'm Searchlight, by the way. She nodded. Well, Searchlight said. See you in geology. Breeze nodded again and Searchlight turned at the corner. The three of us walked away, down the hall. Breeze was going the same way, but she felt awkward following us, so she waited for a few Ostroskins, then followed at a distance, feeling rather glum. Ratchet glanced over his shoulder. Gah. She's following us. Soundwave, what is she doing? Does she know something? I shook my helm. Searchlight looked at me, wondering what Ratchet had asked me, then looked over his shoulder. Oh, she's still there. What's her problem? She already thanked us. Is she just going in this direction? Hey, Breeze. She looked up. You don't have to walk by yourself if you're going the same direction. She caught up again, overcome with embarrassment. So, Searchlight said. Do those idiots bother you a lot? She was one of their favorites. I don't know, she said. Do you mean a lot as infrequently or a lot like they really, really bother me? Because those are two completely different. Oh, no, was that kind of a weird question? I don't know, Searchlight said. They do pick on me pretty often, Breeze said, doorwings drooping a little. But it's okay, I'm not complaining or anything. It's not okay, Searchlight insisted. Some Mick should do something about it. Like who? Breeze wondered. Like him. Do what? That's really, you know, I want to say brave but actually I think it's more along the lines of insane. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what. Searchlight said. Apparently, even the headmaster can't do anything. But I'm not about to let them pick on a femme right in front of me. We got to an intersection and went different ways. See you in geology, Searchlight called over his shoulder. Breeze waved and smiled and felt silly for doing both, but congratulated herself for having a conversation with Searchlight. She's weird, Ratchet said. I kind of agreed. It hurt Breeze's feelings though. She was still close enough to hear us. That's not nice. Searchlight said. Whatever. It's true. Ratchet shrugged. Is she suspicious about something? She seemed awfully interested in talking to us. I shook my helm again. Okay, let's just get back to the room so we can talk out loud. Ravage is right, it's really annoying not being able to hear what Ratchet's asking him. We made it to Searchlight's room and I went to get Ravage. I wondered if I should just bring Ravage over before classes and leave him there during the Orn. No, that would probably not be a good idea. He'd have a lot of fun hiding places to jump out at Ratchet from, but I was pretty sure Ratchet would not appreciate that very much. So, Searchlight said. I'm really sorry I spoke up, I don't want to put you in danger, Soundwave. We should have, it hurt him to say this. We should have just walked past. No, I said. It's okay. I don't know if I can do this. It just feels so wrong to let them get away with that sort of thing. It's not okay, Ratchet said. Your heroics are going to get Soundwave killed. I know, Searchlight said. But what should we do? Just let them walk all over everyone. Yes. Ratchet said. No one else seems to have this problem. Soundwave was doing it before you came. I was doing it. Everyone was doing it. If you just let them walk all over everyone, then no one gets really badly hurt. I guess we're all cowards or something, but there's really not much else you can do against Verdict. Searchlight sighed. All right. I can try, but I don't know. For me, it's not about being scared. I'm scared that you and Soundwave will get hurt, and I'm scared of getting kicked out of school, but I'm not scared of them. They're just bullies. No, they aren't, Ratchet said. They're bullies with power. A- actually, I said. The two of them looked at me. I pulled my datapad from subspace. They're somewhere in between. His creators are powerful, but Verdict can't really carry out all his threats. Part of the reason he hasn't told anyone about me is because he doesn't think they'll believe him. Doesn't make a difference, Ratchet said. We don't even want to risk them telling anyone. Also, as soon as they tell someone, they can't blackmail us anymore. Whose side are you on? Ratchet demanded. I just think they'll want to hold it over our helms as long as they can. If we completely ignore them, they might get bored and tell someone because of that. Besides, even if we ignore them, they don't intend to just leave us alone. Searchlight said. It's probably inevitable that they'll tell someone eventually. Better to at least know when, than to completely avoid them and possibly miss it. Well, if we do stand up to them, then what? We'll just keep getting hurt. Ratchet said. And it's not an inevitability that they tell someone. The angrier we make them, the harder they'll try to find some proof. We won this Orn, Searchlight said. Sort of. We got them to leave Breeze alone, at least for now. Ratchet glared. Do what you want, but if Soundwave disappears and we never see him again, I'm blaming you. Searchlight huffed. Funny how you say that, but it was you who told the bullies in the first place. Ratchet froze. Ravage growled. You did not just say that. Sorry, Ratchet, Searchlight said quickly. I didn't mean that. It's true though, Ratchet said quietly. No. Don't patronize me. I know what I did. Primus, if I'd realized what a big deal it was, I would have held out longer. Now if Soundwave disappears, I'll know it's my fault. It'll be my fault. No, I said firmly. Ratchet didn't argue, but he wasn't convinced. We all got to work on homework after that, except for Ravage, who curled up under Ratchet's chair and took a nap. I didn't realize what Verdict had decided to do until 2 Orns later. I was walking in a hallway adjacent to the one they were in. The Seeker, Thundercracker, was walking toward them, bored and completely unsuspecting. Hey, Verdict said. Thundercracker stopped. You're that Seeker. Thundercracker sighed. How clever of them to figure that out on their own. No kidding, he deadpanned. Jazz, walking just behind Verdict, had to fight a smile. Verdict introduced himself. I've heard of you. Really? Verdict asked. Me. No, the other Verdict. The first term with too many fingers and bright orange optics. Verdict crossed his arms. Sarcastic much. Never. Motormaster was still trying to recall if he'd seen a first-term student with the qualities Thundercracker had described. Verdict smiled. In any case, we thought you might want to come have Energon at our table in the Energon Hall. We noticed you sitting by yourself in the corner. No, Thundercracker said. I don't want to join your cute little club. Thanks for thinking of me, though. Stupid ground pounders. Every mech wants to be friends with the Seeker because he's cool. I hate all of them. He walked away. Jazz said. Guess he's not interested. Well, we've already got a couple more. 6th and 7th Forns even. And we've got time. Soundwave can hide Searchlight from the 3 of us, but he can't hide from 10. They were recruiting. This was very bad news. In the time before Geology started that Orn, I typed out what I had overheard to show Ratchet and Searchlight. Oh no, we're so dead, Ratchet whispered. So that's how they want to do this, Searchlight said. We'll just see about that. If he gets back up, I get back up. Oh, great. Hey, Breeze. Class was over now and we ought to be heading back to Searchlight's room, but he had other plans. Oh, hey, Breeze said. You busy? Not at the moment. Come talk to us in the library, Searchlight said. Okay, sure. Breeze looked at me, then Ratchet. The two of them are both kind of weird. Soundwave's downright creepy and that other one, I can't remember his designation. She followed us to the library. Why here? She wondered. Is there some significance in that? Besides, you aren't really supposed to talk in here. We all filed into the library and Searchlight led the way to a sheltered dead end. Okay, he said. I bet you're all kind of confused. I nodded, though I wasn't, I just thought he was crazy. We aren't supposed to have conversations in here, Ratchet said. If the archivist. Oh, just be quiet, it's the first place I could think of. So, Breeze. Did you know Verdict's expanding his following? Breeze shook her helm. He is. That's bad. Yes. I've got the feeling things are going to get a lot worse around here if Verdict gets some of the older students under his creator's protection. Breeze nodded, though she was only half listening, mostly still trying to work out why she, of all people, had been invited to this conversation. So, Searchlight said, I thought we might try to stop this before it starts. Put an end to it before they really get going. Like what do you mean? Breeze asked. Like, if we get enough mecha to stand up to them, they won't be able to do anything. I know most of the school knows what they do, and most of the students don't like it. So if we got enough mecha to tell them to knock it off, they can't bully all of us, and Verdict's creators can't scare all of us collectively into submission. Breeze nodded. Okay, I guess that's true, but what do I have to do with it? Searchlight shrugged. You said the bullies bother you. I thought you might want to help. We could really use your help. In taking them down. Yes, are you in? Oh, Primus, I just can't possibly say no yes. Hold on. Ratchet said. We're supposed to be keeping a low profile, Searchlight, slag it. No, Searchlight said. I'm sick of them pushing everyone around, okay. Ratchet sighed and mumbled something about Searchlight being crazy. And if they're building up their numbers, we're going to need backup too. But. It's okay, Searchlight said. It is not okay. So, is there a plan? Breeze asked. Right now, Searchlight said, the plan is to come up with the designations of everyone they like to pick on, and we'll talk to all of them and ask if they're interested in taking a stand. Sound good? Breeze nodded. And then we'll talk about other plans later. Designations. I need designations. He looked at me. I could help with that. This was really crazy, though. And something told me it would not end well. I get it, Searchlight said, noticing my hesitation. But they're already building up their numbers. Things are going to get worse whether or not we do something about it. I'd rather do something than sit and wait. I looked down. It made perfect sense in his processor. He figured if enough students stood up, the bullies would back down. I didn't really know if that was the case. Verdict wasn't really the type to back down. Then again, he wasn't really brave. In fact, the biggest reason that they'd started going after Searchlight was that he was a threat to their authority. If he could pull something like this off, then maybe they would back down. And then start plotting their revenge, of course. Come on, Soundwave. I think this could work if we do it right. He was right that things were going to get worse either way. I could think of a few ways this could lead to things getting more worse, but he was pretty much determined at this point. Okay, I said. What? Ratchet demanded. Have you all gone insane? The archivist heard and came over. Out, she said. This isn't a socializing room, some mecha are trying to study in here. Sorry, Searchlight said. We all got up and followed him out of the library, leaving the archivist standing there, somewhat suspicious, wondering what exactly Ratchet thought we were doing that was crazy. We need a better meeting place, Searchlight said once we were out in the hallway. We could meet in my room, but I don't think we could fit more than like 10 mecha in there. Solemn classrooms don't get used, I said. Good. Find us an empty one. I nodded. And if all of you can come up with lists of mecha who you know the bullies pick on, that would be great. Actually, he made to reach in his pack for a datapad, and then realized he wasn't carrying it. Oh. Subspace. Duh. He pulled a datapad out of subspace. We can start coming up with a list now. Searchlight knew some other students who got picked on, and Breeze thought of a few. I didn't chip in. I'd just take the datapad from him when he'd run out of names and add to it. A bream or so later, they couldn't think of anyone else, and so Searchlight suggested that we try to talk to some of the mecha on the list, and then meet the next Orn. Then, Searchlight, Ratchet and I headed for Searchlight's room and Breeze went the other way. I hope you realize this is a bad idea, Ratchet said. It's a really bad idea. I want to see if it works, Searchlight replied. I've never tried anything like this before. And like Soundwave said, it's not like they're ever going to leave us alone. You're going to get us all killed. Don't be so dramatic. Just wait and see. Calm down, Ratch. No. What about him? He pointed at me. We got to Searchlight and Ratchet's room. Okay, Searchlight said. I honestly don't think this is going to make that any worse. I mean, how likely is it that Verdict will be able to convince anyone you can read minds? How well does he even know it? When Soundwave convinced them of that, we were up on the roof late in the off cycle. Could we just pretend you lied? I mean, if you'd only said it to me once, then I'd question whether you could read minds. If we insisted that we were just joking. Jaws would know we were bluffing, I said. Searchlight sighed. You know, if you think this is going to be riskier, if you don't want to do this, I'll stop. I'll give up on this whole fighting back thing. I wished I could ask him to stop. But I was pretty sure his resolve would only last until the next time he saw the bullies. Searchlight would try, but he wasn't going to stop, and the bullies weren't going to stop either. And as crazy as it sounded, a tiny part of me wanted to see if this would work. I borrowed Searchlight's words. I'm sick of them pushing everyone around. Searchlight grinned. Thanks. I know this is a risk I shouldn't be asking of you. I borrowed his words again. Don't be so dramatic. Then I went to get Ravage so he could jump on Ratchet at least once before the end of the Orn. Really, the symbiote needed to do something about that addiction of his.